Hello Internet, welcome back to another episode of Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen. In the last episode, we began exploring the extra event islands in the Sevii Island, starting with Naval Rock. This time, we have the Aurora ticket in our bag. The Aurora ticket was distributed in significantly more places than the Mystic ticket, so I'm just going to be talking about its distributions in the United States. In the United States, it was distributed during the Pokemon Rocks America Tour in 2004 from October 9th through 23rd, and at the New York Pokemon Center store, now the Nintendo store, from October 23rd to 24th and October 30th to 31st. The specific stops where it was available during the Pokemon Rocks America 2004 tour were at Lenox Square in Atlanta, Georgia on October 9th, in the Mall of America in Minneapolis, Minnesota on October 16th, and at the Seattle Center Exhibition Hall in Seattle, Washington on October 23rd. It was sort of a, spooky time to be getting an item like this, and, I mean, as we'll be seeing, it's sort of a spooky event that we're going to be doing. So they were distributing it around Halloween and even on Halloween at the Pokemon Center store. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Before we head to the actual harbor to ask to board a ship to go there, our team is looking a little fucky. I wanted to bring a team of weaker Pokemon for a reason. I would recommend taking a team of weaker Pokemon too. Maybe not quite this week. I wouldn't recommend having Pokemon below level 30 probably. I don't know why I'm bringing this fucking thing. It just makes me mad to look at, but I've sort of developed a crack team here. We got Margarine, who is with the party for a while. We have this Meowth, who's the leader of the Meowth Mafia, because he needs to see some more stuff in his life. This Crobat that I got immediately after beating the Pokemon League. This Blissey that I got immediately after beating the Pokemon League, but it was also the Chansey that I caught as my first encounter in the Safari Zone in this playthrough. Snorlax, this is the one that we caught in front of Cycling Road specifically, and this fuck-ass shiny Magikarp that I'm still pissed about. Margarine, I'm expecting, is going to be the main character of this episode. I think she's probably going to have the most to do here, but I wanted to have more than one Pokemon that I'm going to be able to use here. Oh, that's an Aurora ticket. Now that is rare. We'll be happy to take you to Birth Island anytime. Would you like to board a Sea Gallop ferry? Sure. Okay, everything's in order for you to board a special ferry. Sea Gallop High Speed 12 will be departing immediately. It's not your headphones. There's no music here. Birth Island. Just a mysterious rectangle in the middle of this crater. You can see the grass tiles sort of do not mesh well with the fact that they're on top of these cliffs, which I think is... It's always looked a little bit bad, but that's fine. There's nothing else here. No music. Just a mysterious rectangle. When you see a mysterious rectangle, what else is there to do but touch it? I messed it up. There is a specific order that you need to touch this triangle, and you need to take the least possible steps to, push it every single time, so... Before I go and show you the actual correct directions, let's talk about Birth Island a little bit. This island is perfectly shaped like a triangle. Obviously this is too, and so is the crater. At least as perfect as you can get with working with tiles. The island itself is a reference to Minami Torishima, which is an isolated Japanese coral atoll in the Pacific Ocean, located over 1,000 miles southeast of Tokyo and almost 800 miles east of South Iwo Jima. There's no music in the area, and there's nothing here except for this triangle. If you touch it in the wrong order, it resets. Here's the solution to the puzzle. bright red. Deoxys appeared. Deoxys is a glass cannon and nothing more. Its defensive stats are atrocious at 50 each, but in exchange, its attack, special attack, and speed are all 150, making it more than a match for most opponents you'll face in any given battle. Deoxys learns all different types of moves, with the ones it comes with depending on the game you're playing. Its best moves are undoubtedly Superpower, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Psychic, Shadow Ball, and Extreme Speed. However, to get your ideal moveset for Deoxys, you will need to trade it between Ruby and Sapphire, FireRed, LeafGreen, and Emerald. It's not just in this battle that its moveset changes, its entire move pool is different between games, and you'll need to train it and use the move relearner in all 4 sets to get the moveset you want. This makes Deoxys kind of a pain in the ass to use when paired with its low level this late in the game, but overall, no matter what, Deoxys is a pretty powerful Pokemon. As I mentioned, depending on the game you're playing, its moveset will be different. In Pokemon Fire Red, it will be level 30 Psychic type with pressure for the ability, know the moves Taunt, Pursuit, Psychic, and Superpower. In Leaf Green, it will know the moves Knockoff, Spikes, Psychic, and Snatch. And in Emerald, which is not part of this Let's Play, but I'll figure I'll put it in here just in case, because yes, this event is also in Emerald. It will know Knockoff, Pursuit, Psychic, and Swift. Deoxys is a real threat, but as you can see, it's level 30. This is why I recommended bringing some weaker Pokemon to try and deal with this. I wanted to bring Margarine. Oh. Okay, thank God. It only takes, like, stat boosting moves. I thought it was going to snatch Sleep Powder and use it against her real quick. That would have been terrifying. It's not holding any items. I believe Margarine is holding a Star Piece still from when I was grinding on the Staryu anyway, so I'm not that worried about it. Yeah, I recommended bringing some weaker Pokemon just so you'd actually be able to do this, because with the levels that our main team is at right now, they would obliterate Deoxys. I'm not gonna pretend like Deoxys is some, like, defensive master when you saw its stats on that bio. It's absolutely not. I would like to thank Ari for doing the artwork for this video. That's Robin's girlfriend and a friend of mine, and I'm really appreciative of it because I did not have much money to commission artists.
Oh no.
So, for this Let's Play, so I'm doing my best to work with what I got. It's setting up spikes, so if I end up needing to switch out, that'll be kind of annoying. Let's go for Sleep Powder again. I'm not a fan of the fact that it seems to be waking up on the first turn every turn. I am a fan of the fact that Margarine is at least faster than it, though. Okay, let's start throwing Pokeballs. I don't think... Yeah, it doesn't know Recover. I already went over its moveset, so I know it doesn't. So at least I have that peace of mind, I guess? But from here, it's really just going to be throwing Pokeballs until something sticks. 1. Okay. Off to a great start. At least Deoxys has a fucking incredible battle theme instead of just the kind of bad generic legendary theme for Fire Red and Leaf Green that's just a sped up version of the normal battle, like wild encounter theme. I love this song so much, and in fact, since I'm just going to be sitting here throwing balls at it for a while, I'll let you listen to this song for a little bit. worth noting that Deoxys is one of only like 3 or 4 mythical Pokemon that you're ever able to catch yourself. Normally these are just given out in events and you don't have an opportunity to actually encounter them in the wild. Generation 4 being the one big exception, but even Jirachi, which is another mythical Pokemon in Generation 3, you aren't able to encounter it in the overworld. You can only get it through, like, as a gift from different games, so it's just neat that Deoxys is kind of the first exception, other than Celebi and Japanese Pokemon Crystal, but come on. That's just being pedantic. 1, 2... Damn. I can't even get frustrated about Pokeballs not working because it just means I get to listen to the song for longer. I love this song. This rules. I'm just happy to be here. 1? Okay. That's fine. Take your time, man. The more time I get to listen to this song, the better. One. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. We caught all 3 of the event, like, Pokemon pretty fast here. That's not what you looked like. Deoxys, the DNA Pokemon. When it changes form, an Aurora appears. That's why we got the Aurora ticket. It absorbs attacks by altering its cellular structure. Don't know how like an Aurora would appear if you're in the southern hemisphere, but hey, so I literally didn't know that the Southern Lights existed. I think growing up in Michigan, I was just only ever taught about the Northern Lights, so I just assumed they only happen in the north. Which is stupid as fuck, but, you know, this is more a failure of the education system than anything else. Yeah, it's sort of referencing how, like, the Aurora Borealis does kind of look like DNA strands, and Deoxys has arms that can, like, you know, stretch into different forms and everything, and they look like DNA strands too. It's really interesting. We don't nickname legendaries or mythicals around these parts, unless you're Mew. 2, but that was a special case. Deoxys transferred to Bill's PC. In box 2? Oh, yeah, because... Duh. Okay, well... The rest of you freaks didn't get to get used, really. The only one I'd really call a freak is this damn Magikarp, but... Margarine at least got one last hurrah, and I'm very happy about that because it was sort of unceremonious how she just never got used again in Pokemon Generation 1. With that, that's everything on Birth Island. Let's get back to a Pokemon Center so we can check out Deoxys and talk about that pretty obvious form change. Oh, no, he's pretty obvious. He stands out. Deoxys is quite clearly not in its regular form. Gentle nature. Oh, he's a gentle giant. As you can see, his defenses look a lot higher than they did in that bio. Well, Deoxys has 4 forms. We went over its standard form, which you can only use in Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, Colosseum, and XD. But in LeafGreen, which we're playing right now, Deoxys is in its defense form. In FireRed, its attack form, and in Emerald, its speed form. Each of these forms has a completely different move pool and stat spread, so let's go over them individually as if they're different Pokemon. Starting with Deoxys' defense form. This form excels at stalling and little else, with both of its defense stats at 160 to make up for its awful HP. Deoxys is a phenomenal user of Recover, Toxic, Seismic Toss, Knockoff, Taunts, Spikes, and more to whittle down its opponents while taking very little damage itself. It also learns both Counter and Mirror Coat naturally at level 50 for use against opponents you can easily predict. Its speed is also pretty high for a tank, allowing it to outpace most other tanks and supports in the game. The defense form is certainly not the best of Deoxys' 3 unique forms, but it's still powerful in its own way. Just better competitively than in single player. In FireRed, Deoxys's attack form becomes the best revenge killer out of any legendary Pokemon. Its attacking stats are both a staggering 180, along with a speed stat of 150 and access to extreme speed if you train it up a bit in Pokemon Emerald. Deoxys also gets access to moves like Shadow Ball, Superpower, Rock Slide, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Psychic, and so much more that allow it the coverage to effectively nuke anything your opponent may be packing. The issue here is Deoxys's defensive stats take a major hit in this form, at 20 for defense and special defense, and its HP remaining unchanged. If Deoxys takes a hit in this form, it's going down. But in the time leading up to that, it's a devastating force to be reckoned with. Hi, Starmie. And that's all. What, you want me to talk about the speed form too? You can't get that in FireRed and LeafGreen? Okay, fine, but just this once. In Emerald only, Deoxys' speed form sucks, at least compared to the other two. Offensive movesets make it a worse version of the attack form, while defensive sets wish they could be the defense form. Sure, it has that monstrous speed stat going for it, but that monstrous speed stat is only 30 points higher than its base form and attack form speed, in exchange for all of the power it otherwise has, either offensively or defensively. Your best bet is with a stalling moveset. Use Toxic on opponents, Taunt to prevent foes from recovering, and use Knockoff between using Recover and Taunt. Other than this, every single thing I can say about Deoxys' speed form is just a worse version of what I've already said about its other forms. With that is both of the event-exclusive Sevii Islands covered. Next time on Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen, we have some more to do in the Kanto region now. We're done with the Sevii Islands for the most part, but there's still a lot to do. I'd say we've accomplished something pretty great by this point, wouldn't you? See you guys then.